Sunday, the 8th of June, 2025 will go down in history because it's the day we saw the first Alcaraz versus Sinner Grand Slam final. And boy, it lived up to the billing. It was an absolute classic. 5 sets and Carlos Alcaraz was victorious.
What did we just witness? It was probably, I don't know if this is too much, maybe the best Grand Slam final I've ever seen. I didn't think that the level could get that high, and then it just kept getting better and better, even into the 5th set, deep. You never knew who was going to win it, and right up until the end, it looked like it could be anybody's. But what a absolute brilliant tennis match. Tennis won today. Tennis fans around the world won today. And Carlos Alcaraz won the trophy from what seemed like an impossible situation that he was in. Down 3 match points, saves them, comes back, breaks serve, takes the 4th, goes into the 5th, breaks early. Jannik Sinner breaks back. I mean, we're going to get into all of it. The whole final, for me, it was just mesmerizing. And I couldn't take my eyes off it. And I just thought, is this going to be like one of those ones? I was thinking, I'm going to go out for a run in a bit. But then I thought, I bet this doesn't finish until at least 8 o'clock if I say that. And look where we are, JG. No running for me.
Well, it's not too late. It's still sunny in the UK. Go for a little run now.
I might do.
I mean, if watching them two has not motivated you to go and play tennis or do anything of like a physical activity, then nothing will. Because this was 2 athletes at the top of their game, smacking the ball for 5+ hours at the highest of levels. And you said, is this one of the greatest 5-set matches or Grand Slam matches we've seen? It possibly could be. I mean, Marin Cilic, a legend of the sport, has said he believes it's one of the best 5 sets ever, alongside Federer and Nadal 2008 at Wimbledon. And then you've got Djokovic, Nadal, Australian Open 2012. The level was unbelievable. And it's difficult to come on here and to have any criticism for Jannik Sinner at all. I think it was a match in which either player could have won. It's harsh that we have a loser in such battle. And Jannik Sinner was fingertips away. I mean, he almost had this wrapped up in straight sets. He almost had it wrapped up before it went all the way to a 5th. But just, it was that close of a tennis match where we're seeing 2 players who had to find a different gear to what we've seen this whole championship. The match against Djokovic with Jannik Sinner was incredible. It was a really good match. However, we didn't see full form Jannik Sinner. We've seen Jannik Sinner have to find another gear here today with Carlos Alcaraz. And the fight, which I've seen from Carlos Alcaraz, is nothing short of Rafael Nadal-esque. And I think even Rafael Nadal would have been pretty pleased and proud of what Carlos managed to pull out of the hat today. We've seen Nadal do it before. Carlos Alcaraz had never, ever won a match from 2 sets down in his whole career. And today, he's done a Houdini because Love 40, trying to save 3 match points, championship points in that 3rd set. Just... 4th set, just astonishing.
Brilliant.
The crowd got behind him. It felt like he harnessed that. And the moment he did break back, I then kind of knew we was going to 5. I don't know if you did as well. It felt like that to me.
That feeling.
It had that feeling of he saved them breaks. He's going to now go and break Sinner in this set. And then I knew we was going to 5. I truly thought in the 5th set we was going to see Sinner win it still. Even when Alcaraz was serving for the title, I thought, here we go, here he comes. And he did. He broke back. There was so many twists. Yeah. It was the perfect story where you've got loads of twists and turns. You don't know which way to go. The people inside Philippe Chatrier have just been treated to a fantastic spectacle, and they're never, ever going to forget this. And it's tough for Jannik Sinner right now that he is leaving after that performance and losing. And I'm going to put it on here right now on the record. I don't think Jannik Sinner will ever play at that level again and lose a tennis match, because that must be the first time he's ever produced that level of tennis and lost.
So good though, wasn't it? I mean, that going into that fifth,
it beats everyone else, right? I mean, everyone else.
Yeah, coming into that fifth set, there's no way that he would have played that level of tennis against anyone else and not have already won the match. That's what I think. I mean, I played that well in 4 sets. He probably beats everybody, but Carlos Alcaraz, and he was that close. I think credit to Alcaraz though. On those championship points, he was down. He didn't play within himself. He went full out attack, and he took those back, and he got to deuce. And then once he got to deuce, he then managed to hold, then managed to break. And like you say, coming into that fifth set, I know you said you thought maybe Sinner was still going to win it. I thought the momentum was there. The fact that he broke early in that fifth, I was like, oh, it just seems like it's his time. But for Sinner to then break back again was the most incredible thing. I just thought, oh no, I've got this all wrong now. Jannik Sinner now looks better. Carlos Alcaraz can't serve it out. And then we find ourselves Sinner at 6-5 up. I'm like, well, it's his now. It's his for the taking. But then Alcaraz then to get it to the super tie break, and then to go, what was it, 7-love up or something? Yeah. I was like, there's no way he can lose from here, surely. But I didn't know. I was like,
I didn't know either.
Could we see him come back again? Anything was possible in this match.
Listen, at 8-2, I was thinking maybe.
That's credit to Sinner, though. How well he played in like the moments when you thought he was going to be down and out. That is just such a heart of a champion. Same as Alcaraz as well. He was able to harness something special that gets you these Grand Slams. Like both of these players, I think the only thing that he had really over Jannik Sinner today, it was just minuscule. And that minuscule thing, I think as soon as he pushed it further and further, like the length of time, it's the longest Roland Garros final in the Open era now. And you just know Carlos Alcaraz in long matches in a fifth set, he is so dangerous. And that's the big thing that I think that just helped him, is it went so long and so deep. But the fact Jannik Sinner, he's come a long way. He wouldn't have competed that much in matches over 4 hours in the past. But the fact that he was able to stay that competitive after 5.5 hours, with credit to him, because he's definitely pushed himself and his body. We've got lots of people saying it's the best Roland Garros final in history. We've got Mouratoglou's jumped in as well. He said that. There's just everywhere.
Yeah, people. I mean, the praise for these two is so high right now, rightly so. I think you've summed it up really well, mate. Like, Jannik Sinner historically has never done so well the longer a match goes on. I think there was a stat, I don't know if you've got it, about when it goes over 4 hours, he doesn't win matches. Yeah. But with Alcaraz, he's like 8-1 or something. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know Alcaraz is very good if in the long matches. Sinner is not so good. And this was uncharted territory for Jannik Sinner. Despite that, he almost had it. And I don't really agree with you that Alcaraz edged this match. I think it was generally neck and neck. And that's why it went all the way to a fifth set tiebreak. Yeah. Granted, in that tiebreak, Alcaraz hit some freakish shots. And maybe that's where you're coming with the edge. But yeah, we saw that throughout the match. There was moments when Sinner got to the drop shot. I think it was to set up the break when Alcaraz was serving for the championship.
Yeah, it was
after playing 5 and something hours to get to that ball and then get it back over.
He hadn't got to a lot of the other ones, and to suddenly
it's one of the first ones I think he got to.
Yeah, but that was the latest point in the match to be getting that one. I thought maybe you'd get to the earlier ones, to get to the ones later, to find another level of, I don't know, like energy from somewhere. How are these players getting this energy to find that level?
That's pure moment, adrenaline, and an out-of-body experience, I feel, for Jannik Sinner. He just knew that the significance of that point. It wasn't an option. He wasn't able to feel tired. And I think one thing everyone can take away from watching these two is sometimes tiredness is a state of mind.
Yeah.
I think generally, and you would know this from, we've both been running a lot more. I recommend it for those who don't. It's great for your mental health, great for your body too.
Yep.
And when you are running, there's so many battles you have to go through internally. And there's moments you're like, I just can't do this anymore. But when you keep telling yourself you're tired and you can't do it, then you will stop and you can't do it.
You're
You'll
done.
be surprised after then about 5 minutes of that feeling. You actually think, oh, I feel all right now. And it's a state of you just need to keep breaking down these barriers. Sometimes of course they're tired, but you can trick your brain into really fighting through and finding that extra gear. And these two today on the tennis court showed that better than anyone else. Rafael Nadal will be sitting there at home. We can see he's got his little footstep sort of printed into the court now.
Yeah.
He was there in spirit in Carlos Alcaraz, and Alcaraz has made him super proud. And I'm sure Jannik Sinner did too, because that encapsulated everything we've seen from Rafael Nadal at Roland Garros and everything he does. And here we go, the big man, he congratulates Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner. I didn't know, by the way, this tweet, but it's weird because I knew he would be proud of both. That was a fantastic battle between the two best players in the world. We've got McEnroe going, this level is better than what we've seen with Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. That's a whole nother debate. Yeah. I don't even think you can compare generations too much in tennis. And I know we always do. And we're going to say, oh, JG, you've done it before in the past. Of course, we do a podcast. We do talk about certain things. It's difficult to do. They're all fantastic players. But looking at what I've just witnessed, probably that is, I think, the highest level you can ever achieve on a tennis court. And I don't think I've seen necessarily that level before. We've seen it in spells with Nadal, Djokovic, Federer over the years. Of course, they produced that as well. But it was up there with them, for sure. It was no different to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's what you get when you get the two best players on tour going head to head. And that's what we've seen over the years. When you get those matches, they're just special. And it's just a sort of where were you moment when that whole match happened. Like the Federer Nadal 2008 Wimbledon, that type of match, it's up there. Like this was a match that it had so much drama and I just think the agility. Like I'm going to sing Carlos Alcaraz's praises. I know that we've both of them, but on some of the occasions he has so many moments where in that match, when towards the end as well, when I was just sat there and I just went, what? It's done it again. Oh my, what? How has he hit something from? I think there was one where he was just on the stretch. He just hit this like forehand chop because he couldn't get to the ball. It landed in like right in the corner on the line. Jannik Sinner had to pretty much get out of position to get it back. And then he goes and hits a winner off the next one or something ridiculous. Just how quick both of them are around the court as well. The movement is probably one of the most underestimated or underrated things in tennis. You see players going, oh, look at that, hit that big winner, hit this. It's all down to being in the right position and being able to hit that. They get around the court so fast. Even the drop shots are not that effective because you have to do it so close to the net for it to be a winner. And that's just credit to them. It's just, my mind was blown. I'm like the emoji that everybody sees. That's how I felt watching it. I just couldn't believe every shot that was coming next.
Yeah, it was a great spectacle and one where I could have watched it all day. I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen. I'm sure everyone felt exactly the same too. There's a lot to discuss. I'm going to speak about Rafa as well because Carlos Alcaraz, after saving 3 championship points against Sinner to win Roland Garros, he said, when I was feeling worse, I had no more strength. I tried to think about Rafa, about all the comebacks he made. And that's back to what I was saying. So much of this tiredness is in your mind. You need to keep fighting. You need to give it to every single bit of energy inside of your soul to try and win every point. And both of the players did that today. The other thing with Rafa is Rafa was 22 years, 1 month and 3 days old when he won his 5th Grand Slam. Alcaraz is 22 years, 1 month and 3 days old today, and he's just won his 5th Grand Slam. Crazy how these two are tracking side by side. The legends from Spain go down. We've got some goats there. I know you like a goat. Keep going. There's a few more goats.
little bit.
We've got a baby goat, an older goat, and does that mean that Carlos Alcaraz is on track to win as many slams as Rafael Nadal? Is Djokovic in danger? Is the Djokovic's record in danger?
Who knows? With these players, Sinner and Alcaraz, is anyone going to come through? Who's going to be the next person to come through and challenge them? Like, because as we know, they are the winners of the last 6 Grand Slam titles, and it doesn't look like there's going to be anybody else who gets one at the moment.
Good tweet, this one. Yeah.
That's the big problem for everybody else on tour. How do they raise their level to even get close? Because no one's really that close at the moment. I think there's a big gap between those two and the rest.
The other thing, though, is Carlos Alcaraz has shown that players can beat him. We've seen some freakish results. Butik van der Zandschulp, Marazan, a few of these here and there scattered around. And it's like, what? How did they just beat Carlos Alcaraz? However, with Jannik Sinner, nobody beats him. It is honestly insane. Sinner has lost 8 tennis matches since the 2023 ATP final. So he's only lost 8 tennis matches, and 5 of them were against Carlos Alcaraz. In his last 50 matches, he's won 47 of them and lost 3, and the 3 losses against Carlos Alcaraz. So Jannik Sinner, he absolutely cleans up everyone. Djokovic cannot win a set against him. He was struggling to get a breakpoint opportunity. Players are celebrating after 30, 40 minutes on court because they've managed to get a game on the board. Sinner is that dominant, more dominant than everyone else on the tour, that they can't get close to him. The only matchup we see for the big tournaments was super close is Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. They've won all the slams because they're the best players. Who are we going to see get into that equation? I would say never, because I think someone can just come from nowhere.
Yep.
Is it going to be a player who just really turns a corner? But right now, Jack Draper's, all of these, they're too far off it for me.
A little bit too much to go at the moment. Maybe the surface is a thing as well. Obviously, at Roland Garros, these two were clearly the best players. It's such a grueling surface, and I don't see anybody else hanging with them in that final other than each other. And I think credit to Alcaraz, though, because he's the first player ever to win his first 5 Grand Slam men's singles finals. Look how good he is when he gets to a final of a slam. Being this clutch as a tennis player is difficult when you're a seasoned person who's been on the tour a long time. He's gone into his first 5 finals and he's won all of them. And this one, probably the most incredible out of all of them, because he's come from 3 championship points down to then do what is like impossible. It's like the Great Escape. I don't know how he won today. It is all mental, like you said. He could have easily gone big on one of those championship points and just missed the line like that by a millimeter. Done. There you go.
He played it well. He played it so well. Them championship points. I think one of them might have been a mistake from Sinner, but even beyond that, in his next service game, 2 aces.
Yeah.
But Sinner was finding them too, and that's why I can't really just single out Carlos Alcaraz. Sinner, for large parts of the match at the beginning,
clutch.
Probably was thinking he's about to win this one. I mean, I was watching it thinking, okay, Sinner's got this one, especially 2 sets they'll have up. But yeah, Alcaraz 12-2 in deciding set tie breaks now. Talk about being clutch in the biggest moments. It's for sure. He's the most clutch player in the world right now.
And Sinner's was
maybe
sort of the tiebreak. He was the tiebreak king, remember? And the last 2 sets of this final were both tie breaks, and Carlos Alcaraz has won both of them. It's insane. I don't know if there's any other word to describe it. I'm lost for words. Watching that last set was 1 hour and 20 minutes on its own.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I think he had one match that was nearly the same as that earlier in the tournament, didn't he?
Yeah, and this is not going to impact Sinner too much. It's not one of them losses where it's going to damage his confidence or impact him. There's some narrative around the fact that now Alcaraz has beaten him 5 times in a row, and he can't seem to get that victory. I think it might even be more than 5. Is it 5?
I think it's 5. I think it's 5, but I think that obviously they have that exhibition one that's in the middle of it.
Okay, but he's had his number. Sinner can't seem to get through and beat Alcaraz. I thought this was going to be the moment. My prediction wasn't actually that bad. I was generally thinking, okay, it's going to 5 sets now. Here we go. Sinner's going to win in 5, and I've got it right again. But he will be back stronger. I think he's such a calm head. You see him afterwards. He's thanking his team, very respectful to Carlos Alcaraz.
Yes,
and this is just an experience and a lesson where he'll be back in another Grand Slam final. He might win the next one. I don't think he's fazed by the fact that he's lost. Of course, it's going to hurt. He said he's going to lose a lot of sleep tonight because of all them championship points and how close he was. But I think give it a few more days, he'll be back on the court, getting ready for the grass court swing, and a contender to win. I don't feel like it's a Daniel Medvedev where this is going to get in his head from 2 sets up and he's lost it. And is he going to crumble? Are we going to see him fall down the rankings? Not at all. Jannik Sinner is there to stay. If anything, it's going to make him stronger for the next one, if that's even possible.
Yeah, I think they're both still growing as tennis players. Gil's said it best here. He said, I think that will end up being Nadal's Wimbledon 2007 final for Jannik Sinner. He's on a surface that challenges him, pushes his chief rival to the brink. The pain will be immense, but it's only small gains away from getting there. And he's right. He was in the semi-finals last year, lost in 5 to Alcaraz. He was in the final this year and had 3 championship points after being, well, he's not been on tour for 3 months. So he's come back and he's looking better than ever on his worst surface, essentially. Yep. So imagine how good he's going to be next year. If he was that good this year, you can only imagine he's going to get better and he's going to make adjustments. It's scary because I don't know how much higher the level can get from both of those players. But if it keeps going up, we're in for some treats for finals over the next few years. I think we're going to be seeing this matchup many, many times in the next, say, 4 to 5 years.
I mean, we don't need it to go up. Just the level, what we've seen is enough.
We might have to change the rules of the game if it keeps on like this. So, how long can a final go on for? Are we going to see some 7-hour finals or something from these two? Or?
Well, did you see the total points won? So it was 5 hours, 29 minutes. Who do you think won more points?
Well, we said this about the last time they played, and Jannik Sinner won more points, didn't he?
So what do you reckon this time?
I'll go Alcaraz this time.
Well, you're wrong. It was Sinner, but it was 1 point different. It was a trick question for you. I knew you were going to go Alcaraz. It was 193 points for Sinner to 192 points for Carlos Alcaraz. So there's 1 point in it, and yet Alcaraz still won the match.
Seems to he won it. He won it by more points last time, didn't he? Last year. So this one, he's even got the match is even closer. It seems than last year, but the that final set tiebreak makes it look a little bit more lopsided because of the 8-point differential. Fair play to Alcaraz though. Sinner's right there. It could have been. It's either person could have won. So. Just he held his nerve. I think it's a learning curve for Jannik Sinner, though. He won't be downhearted. He'll come back. He'll definitely win some slams. We know he's the hard court master, so he sort of has both those tournaments sewn up. So it's just about people getting close to him on a hard court. Can Alcaraz even get close? I mean, the fact that he's got close to Alcaraz on clay, that's a scary prospect for Alcaraz because he's not quite as close to him on the hard courts as that. And if he does master the clay, which he pretty much has, I mean, I can't get much closer. If he masters it and wins it, then he's off to the races. Then if he masters the grass, I mean, if he gets to the final, if he see that final again at Wimbledon,
Ben, they've mastered tennis, both of them. It's not about mastering surfaces anymore. They've both mastered it. It's a matter of margin.
Is that the final for Wimbledon?
Probably,
yeah.
Is it the final for the US Open? Probably. Can we see anyone getting into that conversation? Not right now. Could a Fonseca maybe? Someone who's got sheer power in a few years. I think so.
Yeah,
Someone like that is going to have to be have a wow factor.
Yeah, I think maybe give it a couple of years. Fonseca will be ready to start challenging, I think. But Draper, maybe he's ready for. I think only on the grass, right? Draper's ready to challenge, but we'll see at Wimbledon because it's all down to your draw. He's going to have his own quarter, that type of thing. Be interesting to see which side of the draw he's on. Yeah. Because that might be big for either of these two big guns because they're not going to want Draper on their side of the draw. Especially Jannik Sinner. He's obviously not been to the final of Wimbledon yet, and Alcaraz, he's carrying 2 trophies already. So going for the treble.
Yeah, so looking at the major title haul now, I've sent you a tweet which shows it. We've got Carlos Alcaraz with 5 Grand Slams, Sinner with 3. Head-to-head, Alcaraz leads 8-4. What do you make of some of this?
Yeah, it was just about to be leveled, wasn't it? It was just about to be 4-4. But Alcaraz wasn't going to stand for that. He's like, I'm not having you having the same amount of slams as me. I'm going to have a nice 2 differential now. Could be 3 come the end of Wimbledon if he wins it again. And yeah, 8-4 on the head-to-heads, looking quite lopsided now. Wasn't it 4? It was 4-4 at one point, wasn't it? Or was
it was 4-3? Sinner was leading.
I mean, it's crazy that.
I think it might have been 4-2, you know. I genuinely think that. But let us know in the comments section.
I don't know.
We'll probably have to wrap it up there.
I think
because it's been a long few hours of watching tennis.
Isn't it?
And we've got work tomorrow, so we need to move on to other things. But let us know, guys. What did you make of that final? Do you agree with what we're saying? Do you think this is a real classic? Is this the greatest Grand Slam final you've ever seen? Do you think Carlos Alcaraz deserved it? Was you cheering for Jannik Sinner? I wanted Jannik Sinner to win this one today, but I'm very pleased with Carlos. People know I really like him too. And I didn't think anything separated them. So for me, they both had a rightful claim to have their hands on the trophy. We're going to see many more matches with these two competing for slams.
I think it's going to be intriguing. Wimbledon, definitely now. There's a lot to look forward to. And we've just finished our first ever Grand Slam final for Alcaraz and Sinner. The bar's set pretty high. So if they're going into another one ever again, we all know what to compare it to. Yeah. They have to live up to that now.
Exactly. Let's wrap it up there. If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and well done to Carlos Alcaraz. He is the champion again of Roland Garros. See you soon.